Hello and welcome to another update video about the DXY. Today we had obviously the Fed interest rate decision. We saw quite a bit of volatility in the last few days that was, and the results were quite, you could say, quite bullish for a lot of markets, assets. For the dollar, however, a little bit bearish, nothing too major, nothing that we didn't anticipate, because one more low was the idea here, between $101 and $103. So I'm gonna actually add, so I'm gonna draw this descending wedge further, and I wouldn't be surprised to get down to that level here, pretty much exactly at $103. I mean, going down slightly below it wouldn't be the first time that we saw that, basically a fake out and then a recovery. We are, DXY is now massively on the lower end on the RSI. What I wanted to show you is here on the 4-hour chart is we can see that we now dropped into the oversold range on the 4-hour chart at around 30. Now that's the 4-hour, but usually when that happens you see quite a, well, at least significant recovery. Here we recovered from the lower support area of the wedge to the resistance. Bear in mind this is only the 4-hour chart, but here we were at a similar level and we did recover also from the support to the resistance area. Happened here as well. Maybe not quite to that, but even there, here is a red resistance area. So, you know, we are basically on the oversold end. And in addition to that, you can see a slight reduction of negative momentum on the MACD. That would suggest that we are pretty much at the end of this overall short-term downtrend. We're also going to take a look at what that actually means on the higher time frame. What is also interesting is that here on the 4-day chart, we haven't been at that level on the RSI since basically here May 21. So it's been over, well, 1.5 years really, and we haven't seen those levels again. That is quite a substantial drop. I mean, we're not super oversold here on the 4-day chart, but we don't need to be, because the 4-day is really a long-term indicator or time frame, and I do expect it to go down a little bit lower anyway. And overall, I do now at some point then expect this wave B recovery, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and then another wave C down. So the 4-day chart, for example, doesn't need to be massively oversold for us to recover in a B wave. It would be enough to have the daily chart oversold, for example, or at least to be quite low on the RSI. Then we see that wave B recovery, and then in the C wave here of the wave 2, we should see quite a strong decline then also on the indicators. I mean, the wave 2 normally brings them down quite substantially. I mean, here on the daily as well, we are pretty much at the 30 level. Not quite, we are at 32, so a little bit lower would be okay. But also here on the daily, you can see we haven't been so, well, I wouldn't call it oversold yet, because we're not technically below 30, but we haven't been at that level since April 21, and it was quite a substantial recovery that took place since then, right? That has taken place. So overall, my primary expectation is that this here is an A wave. We're going to push higher in a B wave, maybe into the region $110, $112. It is quite hard to define a target for the B wave if we don't know yet how low we really go, because the downtrend certainly hasn't stopped yet. But if we say we go down maybe to, let's say $102, then the recovery could go into the region, I would say, between $108 and $112. So this is a B wave. It must be a flat pattern, because the move down in the A wave is a 3-wave move, ABC. So the B wave is normally quite strong, and then we should see quite a strong sell-off in a C wave. In a so-called flat pattern, a so-called 3-3-5 pattern, the C wave is normally quite impulsive, quite strong to the downside. And the B wave is quite strong as well in terms of its recovery, right? That could, for example, lead to a bunch of new lows in several markets, to be honest, including crypto, which is also what we expect, obviously, on the main channel, More Crypto Online. So basically the idea is that the wave 1 is finished here. We're now in the ABC correction. Alternative pattern is very similar short term. Explained it in previous videos. It would just mean we have to replace the wave A with a wave 4. and the wave B would be a wave 5, which means in the alternative wave count, we would short-term see a very similar behavior. It's just that we're probably going to overshoot above the wave 1 in the alternative pattern, where this would be a wave 4 that we're coming down to, and the wave 5 would push obviously higher, make a higher high. But that's only the alternative pattern. I think this ABC makes a bit more sense, also looking at the proportions. And yeah, as you can see here, we're basically heading further down. We had the chance of putting a higher wave 4 in, which is technically still possible. It would extend everything though. So ideally, now that we've broken the wave 3 low, I would prefer, if we follow straight away here, the direct sell-off and the direct path to completing this primary scenario, to put a lower wave 5 in, which is now fulfilled, but I don't see any sign of a recovery yet, so it's probably going to drop a little bit lower. Ideal would obviously be that support level of the wedge, and then we take it from there when we reach that. Alternatively, if we now break above the wedge resistance, that would be a first signal that the wave B has started to the upside, that this wave 5 is complete, or let's call it the wave 5 of wave C of wave A, that this is complete, but we won't really know until we break above the wave 4 high at 105.83. That would be a very strong indication that it's over. And then we obviously need to break above that resistance area here. And I mean, this is at $108. And ideally, I would expect the B wave, if it really is a strong B wave, it should ideally push higher. Yeah, you know, maybe into that $110, $112 range. That would be ideal for a B in a flat pattern. Okay, that's my quick update about the DXY. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.